103.3 WPKY, and WPKYOnline.com. Time to take a look back at last night's Caldwell County game with the coaches and, of course, your host, Bob Hayes.
Good morning, Tiger fans, and welcome to the quarterback show this morning. I am joined in the studio this morning by Tiger head coach Wayne McGowan. And last night in LaCenter, Kentucky, the Tigers beat and outmanned Ballard Memorial Bomber football team by a score of 57-6. I'll be back after these commercial messages to talk with Coach McGowan about the first half of last night's game. Now we pause for 5 minutes.
WPKY.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, you wouldn't spend more to get the exact same thing, would you? No. So when I tell you that Straight Talk Wireless runs on the same cell towers as the big guys but charges up to half the cost, you see where I'm going with this, right? Get America's best 4G LTE networks for less. The unlimited plan is just $45 a month with 25 gigs at high speeds, then 2G. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
Savings may vary. See straighttalk.com.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions. Like Company Pages, where you can get people excited about working for you. And we give you this toy monkey, which will bang its cymbals when the right resume appears. Okay, there is no monkey. I said there is no monkey! But Company Pages, for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo to try Company Pages for free. Terms and conditions apply.
WPKY. Thank you for choosing us. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
I got mine at Audubell.
I got mine at Audubell.
I got mine at Audubell.
I got my hearing aids at Audubell.
As a psychiatrist, I have to listen to my patients very well. And Audubell gave me my ears back.
And they've really changed my life.
I've been wearing hearing aids for 50 years, and Audubell is by far the best hearing aid.
I'm Donnie Baker, helping you hear well at Audubell.
Call Audubell for your free hearing test, 554-1900.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes. We're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
2019 RAV Crew Cab, 4x4, 16,000 miles. NADA retail, $39,150. Price priced at $36,500.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or TriceHughes.com.
Have a great design idea for a t-shirt?
NewDirectionPrint.com.
Need new envelopes for the office?
NewDirectionPrint.com.
New employee needing business cards?
NewDirectionPrint.com.
Event coming up and need flyers?
NewDirectionPrint.com.
Need a new sign or banner?
NewDirectionPrint.com.
Direct mail, graphic design, printing copies, and more. Learn more at NewDirectionPrint.com.
This is Holly Van Hooser with the Woodall Agency in Princeton, Kentucky. Are you wanting the best options that meet your needs? If so, call our friendly and professional agents who are just a phone call away at 365-5541 or visit our website woodall@woodallagency.com. We will give you a free quote for your home, auto, or even your business. We will get back with you on the best options that meet your needs. Our office is located at 110 West Washington Street. Call Woodall, y'all.
The calendar says it's fall, so headed to Bella Marie for some of the cutest fashions around. Lots of sweatshirts. These are lightweight, perfect for a cool fall night. Tops galore, many with fun sleeves. New boots have arrived, including duck boots, animal print. Now, you can't beat that combination. Olive green is a great color for fall. You'll find it at Bella Marie. Lots of t-shirts. Pair that with your favorite cardigan, leggings, jeggings, or jeans. The perfect earrings, and you're ready for anything. Bella Marie Boutique, Princeton, Hopkinsville, and Madisonville. Follow on Facebook and Instagram.
Did you know that in the 1960s, 92% of Americans listened to local radio every week? What do you think it is now?
I bet it's a lot less.
Would you believe that it's still 92%?
Wait, you mean more people listen to radio than TV?
Yes, more people use local radio every week than any other device.
I know I listen. I just didn't realize that everyone else does too.
92% of Americans listen every week. You are right now. Thanks. This message brought to you by your local area radio stations. You can count on us.
It's all at your fingertips now at WPKYOnline.com. Local video, local news, local sports, local weather information, and of course, contests. Plus, you can listen to us on your smart device. Just click the Listen Now button. We've made it easier to find your favorite information. WPKYOnline.com.
The Saturday Morning Quarterback Show continues on WPKY. Here's your host, Bob Hayes.
And welcome back to the show. Wayne, what were your feelings last night about last night's football game?
Well, prior to the game, my feelings were a little weird. That's why I probably told the kids this whole deal was weird about 10 times last night. I couldn't figure out another word to say. But first district game, bus ride. Bus ride wasn't super hot, thank goodness. So, and just getting there, and it was their homecoming, and just trying to instill in the guys that this is district game 1, and we have to come out, play well, get the game going, and we were playing pretty well, I thought, for the most part, considering the situation. So it was a little bit tough, but I told the guys we have to be able to thrive in that kind of situation where we may be the dominant or better team, and you have to be able to handle it when you're not the dominant or better team. So. We have to learn from that and be able to thrive in both situations.
And obviously one of the things that came out last night's game, the Tigers were really strong and not so strong in the special teams department, scoring points on a punt and kickoff return, but giving up a long kickoff return as well. So it was a game you hardly ever see that in a football game.
Exactly. Barron, was able to do it again like he did in the Christian County game. Then, their kid busted right down the middle on us on a 90-something yard kickoff return, and I told the kids I'm at fault on that one. We kind of modified our kickoff a little bit, and so I told the kids that one was on me, and, we'll all have to learn from that. But there again, give that kid credit. Yeah,
midfield on that. It opened. 15 to 20 yard hole.
Yeah. So we'll go back to the drawing board on that one, and we'll probably just scratch that one and toss it on out. But yeah, just give that kid credit. He's we were telling the kids that kid can move around really well, and he's fast and he's shifty, and he knew exactly what to do. He saw the opening, and he turned the burners on and went for 6 on us.
And one of the things last night's game, when you look at the score, 57-16, you'd think there would probably been a 800 yards of total offense buzz, but we just barely get into the 260 category, and Ballard probably a little bit less than 100 yards of total offense. So to have that indicates a lot of special teams scoring and things of that nature. And we also, again, I think we've done it every game this year, but once we win the toss and defer. And so Ballard receives the kickoff at their 11, and we had them pinned back the whole night on kickoffs. They except for that one, they started either at the 20 or behind the 20.
And that's really good. We've really been working hard on kickoffs. It didn't look like it on the one, but still I think the kids are really starting to buy in on sprinting downfield, getting past those first line of blockers, then defeat the second line of blockers, whether it's a rip move or whatever. Just avoid that guy, but you have to get back in your lane until you're ready to attack the ball carrier. So with the exception of the one, we did a really great job. Blake knocked it down there nice and deep last night, so we could, these guys could sprint and get down and pin them in.
And obviously, like you say, that eventually pays dividend, and certainly paid dividends last night. So they get the ball at their 11-yard line and go 3 and out, having to punt near their own goal line. And they had 3 or 4 snaps last night that most of their snaps were great, but about 3 or 4 of them were just unusually weird. We don't know whether that was brought about by, the ball went over the kicker's head that time by about a couple feet, and the quarterback one time by about 3 feet. But anyway, he can't pick the ball up and get the punt off until he's smothered in the end zone, and we don't know who led. It looked like about 4 guys.
It seemed like somebody got there. 3 or 4 were there just at one time, and we were able to capitalize on their mistake. And we have to be able to do that. When if a team messes up, we want to make sure we come clean that up, and we'll take the 2 points.
And so Caldwell goes up at that point 2-0. Then Ballard has to kick off to us, and we get a good return from Barron Wells, and we start play at the Ballard 36-yard line. Big play in our first drive was a 22-yard run by Russ Bashir to the Ballard 5, and then De'Eric 2 plays later scores from the 3-yard line. So quickly we get something going on that, and we had a lot of drives last night where that was about a 4-play drive there. But anyway, great opportunity to get on the board again with a touchdown, and Blake adds the extra points, and we're up 9-0 over Ballard at that point. So looking things starting off really good for us, and maybe breathing a sigh of relief.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to get off to a good start. Getting the safety was a really good start, I thought. Anytime you can get some kind of special teams play to go in the positive direction
that did
for
break
you.
the ice.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's always a good deal to start a football game out. So good for those guys on that punt return team. I know we've taken a couple touchdowns back, but be able to get back there and put some pressure on those guys and come up with a safety.
And so Ballard on their second drive of the opening half, they get the kickoff and start their drive at the 20-yard line. They can't get a first down, and they're forced to punt. And this one is when lightning strikes Ballard. Barron fields the ball at our 49 and returns at 51 yards behind several good blocks and his ability to read blocks. I mean, maybe 2 guys got pretty close to him, but it was, again, a wide open return by Barron in that situation.
It was. We worked pretty hard this week.
That was on your side of the field. Well,
yeah,
you could see
we
that
brought her.
really well.
Brought it right down our sideline. We worked hard on that. That had a pretty unique looking formation. I don't know if you noticed it, but it was just, I don't know if I've ever seen it before. They were really, really short on one side, and they had several guys on the other side on their punt team. They didn't rugby punt it like we do, but it was about the same. We thought if we could get through, get some little pressure, and swing our guys down, it didn't whatever sideline, but it ended up on our sideline. Thank goodness, because we always like to see it up close. Several key blocks. Barron set some things up pretty well, and just got on down that sideline and got to pay dirt.
And one of the things we recognized at that point, we were only able to return one punt last night.
Yeah.
The rest of their punts, one was blocked later in the game,
Right.
and then they only averaged for the whole night like 13 yards a punt. So you're not going to return them very much.
Makes it tough to don't punt it to you.
Exactly. So again, Blake adds the extra point, and we're up 16 to nothing at that time. And as I mentioned earlier, Ballard had trouble covering punts, so maybe that's why they went with a short punt, or maybe that's all they could get out of the punt.
Could be.
A lot of their punts were under pressure.
Yeah, we did. We were able to get a little pressure on it. Something we just want to add a little pressure and speed them up a little bit.
And again, we kick off, and this is where lightning strikes a little bit. Trenton Howard picks it up at his 5-yard line after it bounces around on the ground, maybe a little bounce or two, and heads upfield straight up the middle, as we mentioned, through a gigantic hole that opened for him. And we have a couple shots at him about maybe their 40, 45, but then he gets by them, and you think, ooh, wonder if Blake is in position to make this tackle, because a lot of times our kicker has in years past made the saving tackle on a punt, on a kickoff return, but Blake got a little juked on that play, so Howard was able to take it 95 yards on us.
Oh yeah, and that watching that kid on film, he does a lot of good things for him. He does everything for him just about. So, and he was able to see the hole, and it was a really, really big hole. And he exploited us right there. So yeah, we just have to shape that up right there, and it was my fault on that, and I'll take the blame on that one.
Like you say, we'll get rid of that kickoff.
Yeah,
coverage.
that's in file 13.
Was that one of the Cleveland Browns?
It looked like it, didn't it? That's water through a screen door return.
That's for you, Coach McClung, on that. Anyway, they had the 2-point conversion, and Caldwell leads 16-8 at this point, and you're thinking, oh, this has been nobody's played defense all night.
No.
We've either running punts back or kickoffs or whatever. So for our second drive of the quarter, we take the kickoff at our 47, and Russ immediately hits Barron with a 33-yard pass completion to the Ballard 20. I'm not sure. Did we fumble the ball on that play and Angel Long recovered? Or was that the next play?
I think, yeah, it was the next play. We threw it to Tate, I think.
Okay,
we threw it to Tate.
And
he
then
got down their sideline kind of a little
Yes.
bit. Then he fumbled. And Barron Wells actually recovered that fumble.
Okay,
over
not
on their
not Angel.
Right, I believe it was Barron on their sideline.
I was looking at my notes last night trying to figure out which play it was. I wasn't too descriptive in my notes, and that's your fault, Wayne, because y'all play too fast. I don't have time to sit there and think and wonder.
Have to have a writing break.
Yeah. Well, my brain had to function.
A brain break, I guess,
yes,
huh?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, we get on the fumble, and a penalty sets us back to the Ballard 32, and 2 plays later, Russ is intercepted on the only drive of the night that we couldn't capitalize on in the first half. And you would think that we could have passed all day on Ballard, but they played that pass pretty well.
They did.
The kid came out of nowhere to make the interception.
He did. I'm not sure what we called there, but yeah. No, Russ looked pretty good. I was kind of watching Russ. He stepped up, his feet were hot, and he delivered the ball with some pretty good zip on it. And, that kid, the green shirt just flashed right there in front of it, yeah.
But anyway, we turn it over. So Ballard, the third drive, they take over at their 23-yard line, pick up their first down of the game, but then turn the ball over on downs at their 44. And they had a couple shots at trying to pick up 2 yards on that drive, and we just stonewalled them.
Yeah, stepped up pretty good right there. Defense played well. Early on, that option stuff was a little tricky for us. We tried our best all week to, create the scenario of what that option would look like for our guys, but it took us a little bit to actually see those guys do it, and they did it better than our scout team. So it took a few plays for those guys to kind of figure out what was going on there. But give credit to our kids there. We did step up and make some good stops.
Well, I have a note here. I said, was Wayne anything Ballard showing that we weren't prepared for? And we were prepared for it, but we just didn't execute the
right.
And that's why they got 6 or 7 yards on a lot of those.
They did
opportunities, but when they decided to hand the ball off straight ahead, almost nothing was there. So anyway, we take over on downs. This is one of our vintage 2-play drives that we have with Derek. And I'm not sure. To me, it was a run. It was look like a lateral. But I think in the stats that we pick up here, maybe Todd gave us a pass on that particular play. But it looked like a pitch behind the line of scrimmage to Wayne. He goes 15 yards on the first play. Could have been a pass. And then he from there to the 29, he takes it to the house behind. Outstanding running and great blocking. He was. You wondered where the Ballard defenders were on that play, looking downfield. So again, Eric really only touched the ball on rushing either 4 times or 3 times last night. Did catch a couple passes. But anyway, Blake adds the extra point, and the score now is Caldwell 23, Ballard 8. First quarter just about to come to an end, so we've had a lot of activity going on.
It was pretty busy first quarter.
First quarter, Ballard's 4th drive, they get the kickoff again at their 20. They make another first down, but eventually go backward and have to punt from their 9-yard line. Again, they get off a short punt only out to their 28-yard line, punt of 19 yards. Tigers take over, and we immediately get penalized 5 yards, but on the next play, Russ hits Barron Wells with a touchdown pass, play covering 33 yards, and nice, beautiful pass by Russ floating over Barron's shoulder. And once he caught it, he knew what to do and had no trouble getting to the end zone on that play.
Yeah, that was a nice throw, nice catch, and a good hookup. Put the ball up in the air some. I know we throw some short stuff, we throw screens, but it's always good to get the ball up in the air and let somebody just run under it and take it to the house.
And if they have safeties out there last night, they weren't covering any of those kind of plays at all. They just put the cornerback on an island and let him suffer, so to speak.
Yeah.
So Blake adds the extra point. We're up 30-8 at this point. Ballard gets the kickoff again at their 20. They go 3 and out. Big play being a sack, half a sack each by John Paredes and Drew Davis. I mean, those guys had him down in a heartbeat. Ballard's forced to punt from their 28, and they were under heavy pressure all night long last night. So anyway, we start our fifth drive of the evening from their 28. Russ hits Tate on a big first down play with 9-yard pass gain. 2 plays later, Russ takes it. I don't know whether it was a design run or whether he saw an opening and took it up the middle, but went 14 yards or 15 yards to their 4-yard line. Nice run on his part.
It was.
Almost got it to the end zone.
Yeah,
but
he just about got it. Yeah.
They closed late on him,
right,
and got him down. And next play, he throws a 4-yard pass to Tate. Tate making a sliding catch in the end zone to keep the ball off the ground and able to hang on with that reception. And we go up. We get the touchdown. Blake adds the extra point, and really at this point, Caldwell leads 37-8, and you would think the route is on, which obviously we weren't having any difficulty on that. So Ballard on their next possession, again taking over at their 15, another possession where they're either at the 20 or behind their 20, and they go 3 and out and have to punt. Fumbled snap on that leads to a block of the punt by Max Kramer, and we didn't know who got it, but we were informed from the sideline that Max got it. Looked like he beat 2 other guys in there to get his hand on the ball.
You know, Max pretty quick kid. He's probably about first 15 yards or so. He's pretty quick. So kind of set him down on that short side of the
play. Russ hits De'Eric with a 10-yard pass. So we just a one-play drive again on that. And then uncharacteristically, Blake misses the extra point. We don't know whether we think he hooked it wide left and maybe he had too much juice going on.
Yeah, I think he overcooked it a little bit.
Still maybe thinking about the missed tackle on the kickoff return.
Thinking I got to make tackles now. I'm putting way too much on my kicker. You got to make tackles and hit every kick. Yeah.
So the Tigers leading right now 43-8. Ballard starts their last drive of the first half at their 8, again deep in their own territory, and they only run 3 plays before they sit there and try to run out the clock. And we thought maybe you might call a timeout in that case and see if we can get them to punt or maybe screw it up in the end zone again.
Right.
But we don't, and so the first half runs out. Were you thinking about maybe a timeout in that situation?
Not really. You know, in that situation,
I knew
what they were trying to do, and so we didn't really consider
we
timeout
could hear Coach
at that
McClung
point.
up in the box saying, "Call timeout."
Yeah.
Call timeout. But we didn't, and the half ends. And instead of a building for us to go to, you just take them down to one at the end zone to your left and sit down and relax. And so we didn't force Ballard to punt at the end of the first half. So it's halftime now, and I'll be back with Coach McGowan about after, and we'll talk about after halftime after these commercial messages.
WPKY.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, you wouldn't spend more to get the exact same thing, would you? No. So when I tell you that Straight Talk Wireless runs on the same cell towers as the big guys but charges up to half the cost, you see where I'm going with this, right? Get America's best 4G LTE networks for less. The unlimited plan is just $45 a month with 25 gigs at high speeds, then 2G. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
Savings may vary. See straighttalk.com.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions. Like Company Pages, where you can get people excited about working for you. And we give you this toy monkey, which will bang its cymbals when the right resume appears. Okay, there is no monkey. I said there is no monkey! But Company Pages, for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo to try Company Pages for free. Terms and conditions apply.
WPKY.
Thanks for spending time with us. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Need cash fast? Get the money you need. Call ABC Finance now.
Life doesn't always go as planned, and sometimes money is tight when you need it most.
At ABC Finance, we're here for you.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
And we can help you in a pinch, even if your credit is less than perfect.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000 and the individual attention to help you get your finances back on track.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
No appointment is needed. Walk-ins are welcome.
You can even give us a call, and we will take your application over the phone.
Or you can apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
And like ABC Finance on Facebook.
ABC Finance in Hopkinsville on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to O'Charlie's and in Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance.
All loans subject to normal credit approval.
I don't know about you, but I like to celebrate my birthday all month long. September just happens to be Pennyrile Electric's birth month. And we are celebrating you, our members. 82 years of providing the best electric services at the lowest possible rates. No matter where you live, work, or play, Pennyrile Electric is committed to providing you, our neighbors, friends, and family with the finest technology and personalized service. Pennyrile Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative, member-owned for 82 years.
Give your infant toddler a good start with WIC. WIC will provide formula and baby food for infants and nutritional foods for toddlers, children, and pregnant and breastfeeding moms. A family of 4 can make up to $46,435 annual gross income and still qualify for WIC. Those on Medicaid will qualify with their Medicaid card. Grandparents raising their grandchildren, there is help. Contact your local health department in Caldwell, Crittenden, Livingston, Lyon, or Trigg County to set up an appointment. WIC is an equal opportunity provider.
Imagine this. It's late at night, it's cold and dark, and you have a flat tire. One never knows when old Bessie's gonna cause you problems. There's only one place to call, Wallace Towing and Recovery in Princeton. Wallace Towing and Recovery is a 24/7 towing and recovery service. You can count on Wallace Towing and Recovery to get you safe and back on the road or to a repair shop. Wallace Towing and Recovery will jumpstart your vehicle, change a tire, deliver gas, unlock a door, or haul to the garage or scrapyard. Wallace Towing and Recovery has you covered in Princeton and surrounding areas. Call Wallace Towing and Recovery. Check them out on Facebook, and when you need a tow or roadside help, call Wallace Towing and Recovery at 270-963-9081.
Wednesdays are burger night at Black Patch Grill in Princeton. Submit your own burger choice on our Facebook page while everyone votes for their favorite. 3 winners are announced, and if your burger is chosen, yours is free. Some of the past favorites are the Donut Burger, the Irish Whiskey Burger, and the Guinness Mac and Cheese Burger. If you can't make burger night, check out Family Feud Style Trivia Night every Monday, 7 to 8 p.m. Free entry, teams of any size, and the top 3 teams win a prize. There is fun to be had at Black Patch Grill.
This is Todd Griffin with your SportsEdge.com. Every Thursday morning in the 8 a.m. hour here on WPKY, we bring you the Sideline Report. This is your invitation to join us as we talk sports. Sometimes it's local sports, sometimes we talk about national sports news. We always have a guest, and you are always invited to listen. The Sideline Report is brought to you in part by ABC Finance, U-Ride, and Bashir Sawmill. I'll be looking for you to join us Thursday mornings at 8:05 for the Sideline Report. You can tune in on 1580, 103.3, or online at WPKYonline.com.
The Saturday Morning Quarterback Show continues on WPKY. Here's your host, Bob Hayes.
And welcome back to the show. Wayne, at halftime last night, you chose to keep the players in the end zone to your left rather than go inside of the building. Obviously, lack of space was one of the things, but what was your message to the players at halftime last night?
At that point in the ball game, we were definitely up and we were pretty much in charge of the game. But there again, you want to come back out and be able to establish something positively, whether it's running or passing or special team, whatever the case may be. You still want to be able to have some intensity and some drive and go out and continue to compete on a high level.
And the only thing at this time, there was still no running clock because we were 1 point shy of the running clock. At this point in the game, Barron had scored 3 touchdowns. D'Eric had scored 3 touchdowns. So obviously we didn't have to make any minor or major adjustments.
Just kind of rehashing on the option stuff, get our guys to the, option is assignment football. Somebody has to take the dive, somebody take the quarterback, somebody take the pitch man. And for whatever reason, we were having some issues with that in the first half. So, and you never know. You may see an option team down the road. So it's a good deal that we were able to play a team who runs some option and get a look at that.
So we go out to start the second half, and again, if you're on the Ballard sideline, lightning strikes again as they open the second half with the kickoff to us, and Barron takes the ball back 70 yards for a touchdown. Again, on your side of the field, and his third touchdown of the night. We just mentioned Derek with 3 first-half touchdowns. Again, it was one of those situations where we get past the initial wave, and we're looking. We got wide open spaces.
Yeah. There again, did a good job. We had some bodies on some bodies, and Barron with his vision and quickness and speed. He has a knack for doing that. So it was a good play for us right off the bat.
Excellent blocking and excellent running on Barron's part, and Blake returns to form, adds the extra point, and we're up at this point just starting the second half, 50-8, and that does commence the running clock. So Ballard gets the kickoff. Again, they actually get the ball out to their 22 on the next kickoff. They pick up 2 first downs on that drive, but then they have to punt to the Tigers. And so on our first drive of the second half, Travion opens that drive with a hard-nosed 12-yard run. Jack Stevens is now in the game quarterbacking, so we're able now to start running in some of the second-teamers and third-teamers with some of our first-teamers in there.
We were. It's good to see Travion get a run and get Jack in there some. So, yeah, it's good to get those guys and get some experience in that backfield.
And on the next play, Jack hits Clayton Wolford for a nice 8-yard pass. Nice catch by Clayton. And we were watching warm-ups, Wayne, last night. This is something that you point out, Coach Barnes always pointed out. If you have a lot of drops in warm-ups, you know, maybe you're not really focused. But we were watching those guys last night catch pass after pass after pass in warm-ups. So, I thought, well, we're ready to play.
Yeah, I thought we were ready to play, no doubt, considering the situation last night. So, yeah.
And so we give the ball off to Travion. Again, we give him a little chance to catch his breath. I wouldn't want to be trying to tackle him. So, again, Travion goes for 5 yards. Another 5-yard pass completion to Aaron Ziobro last night, who got his name in the mention column, if you will. And again, another nice catch by Aaron and a nice throw by Jack.
It was.
Then Jack gets to be a running quarterback.
Yeah.
He goes for basically 7 yards, and then on the next play loses what he gained on the other play. But you got to hand it to the young man. He's looking. He's got his nose down and going forward.
That was a good run. He ran it right up inside. Yes. And, kept his pads low and kept his feet moving. So it was a good positive run for him. Good confidence play for him, be able to come in and move the ball like that.
Absolutely. And now the ball's at the Ballard 10, and Travion gets an 8-yard run to the 2, and then barrels over, almost goes untouched into the end zone from 2 yards out. When Travion runs it, he's running it hard from the get-go. He doesn't have to go 8 yards to pick up steam on his running. So Blake, again, now starts a new string. He's now 2 in a row. Adds the extra point. Caldwell up 57-8. Ballard takes over. There are only 2 drives by each team in the second half. That's how much the impact the running clock has on everything. Ballard, in their second drive of the second half, they take over at their 17, and then they march the ball 83 yards for a touchdown with the last play of that drive. 53-yard run by, again, it was by Parker Rathman, quarterback that got loose and goes in from 53 yards out. We also had a 5-yard penalty on that. They actually went 83 yards, but 78 only on the ground. We were helpful by 5 yards on that drive. So they run the 2-point conversion, and it's good. Caldwell County 57, Ballard 16. So we take over with our final drive of the second half, and now we have Gabe Dyer in quarterbacking. Gabe throws a couple balls that go incomplete. At least we were trying to get him some passing attempts. Jameis Carnahan rips off a 24-yard run. I thought he might go all the way. That happened in front of you guys.
Yeah, it was a good run by James. Had some good blocking on that play. I remember.
Yes.
I think Kenyon Richardson. I remember him coming around there. He was that wide out or the slot receiver. Had a really good block, and I think it was Gavin Board. I think was still in at that point. I thought he did a really good job. I think it was Gavin. He hooked his guy and sealed the edge for us so James can get outside.
And then on the next play, we hand it off to Logan, and he runs around to our side of the field, picks up a 6-yard run, gets to the 30, and time runs out, and we win the football game. 57-16. After the game, Wayne, what'd you say to the kids before you got them on the bus? And you just mentioned earlier, which I wasn't familiar with this, we didn't get any of the parents out on the field last night after the game by edict.
No doubt.
So anyway, we got on the bus. And looking at the stats, we only rushed the ball 15 times last night. Russ 3 times for 45, Derek 3 times for 39 yards and 2 touchdowns. Travion 5 times for 32 yards and 1 touchdown. Jameis 1 time for 24 yards. Logan Chambliss 1 time for 7 yards. Jack Stevens twice for a net gain of 0, picking up 7 and losing 7. So 15 rushes for 147 yards. And in the pass receiving department, Tate has 3 grabs for 24 yards and 1 touchdown. Barron Wells 2 receptions for 67 yards and 1 touchdown. De'Eric Hollowell 2 receptions for 22 yards and 1 touchdown. Clayton Wolford 1 catch for 8 yards. Aaron Ziobro 1 catch for 4 yards. And Logan Smiley 1 catch for 2 yards. So our 10 receptions totaled 127 yards. Russ was 8 out of 11 with 1 interception for 115 yards. Jack Stevens 2 out of 4, no interceptions, 12 yards. Gabe Dyer 0 for 2 with no interceptions and 0 yards. And in the tackle department, this is several kids have their name in the paper on this. 22 tackles led by Ben Holt, and Ben was everywhere last night. I mean, blowing up plays, running through blockers, 11 tackles. Elijah Sheen was creating havoc on the defensive line with 8 tackles. John Paredes with 5 tackles, and John had a nice game with a half a sack, along with Drew Davis with 5 tackles and the half a sack. Travion with 4 tackles. Brady Holman 4 tackles. Barrett Cotton 3 tackles. Aaron Hensley 3 tackles. Russ Bashir 2 tackles, and again the linebackers didn't get a lot of action last night.
Played well.
Unless they were covering the pitch, the pitch out that seemingly we got juked in on. Logan Chambliss 2 tackles, Clayton Wolford 2 tackles, Tate Van Hoosier 2 tackles, Jameis Carnahan 2 tackles, Jack Stevens 2 tackles, Max Kramer 2 tackles with a blocked punt to go along with his 2 tackles, Max Ashley 1 tackle, Nick Sherrill 1, Kenyon Richardson 1 tackle, Trip Branch 1 tackle, Devin Kilgore 1 tackle, and Jordan Ladd 1 tackle. So a lot of kids got in the game last night.
Yeah, they did, and it's good to see the younger guys get a chance to get out there on a Friday night. With our situation, we've had to cancel a couple JV games, so it's good to see some of those guys get in. We try to trickle them all in there before that thing was up. But like I said, with that running clock, man, that thing goes pretty fast, and you're trying to get, a rep or 2 in just to get them into the ball game. And so we try our best to do that. But hopefully with our JV situation, I believe Monday we'll go ahead and play, and I think we'll have another JV game sometime in October because we'll have fall break, and then we'll just have an open spot in the JV schedule. So hopefully we'll go ahead and get those 2 games in. Maybe if we can, we may pick somebody up to get these kids some more playing time.
Well, there's one omission. I love having fun with this because I'm sure he's a great kid to be around, but we don't see Blake's name on this tackle list. But being on the soccer team, he's probably used to contact.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
I understand this past week we just about had a
Shit.
brawl at a soccer game. So his football experience would probably come in handy on the soccer field.
Yeah, and I was actually at that soccer game, and it's the first soccer game I've been to all year, and I thought, what have I come into
what
here?
am I getting myself into?
So yeah, no, contact's not not anything unusual for Blake. I watched him play. He's pretty tough out there on that soccer field. He does a lot of good
He
things.
made a tackle in the previous game, put a good hit on a kid. But you could see him break down, and all of a sudden, have a great run by the kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I think many people would have gone for that feint.
Right. So we'll have to get Blake in tackling drills this week. Looks like.
But just to say, Blake, we love you. Just keep the string going. We're going to give you a chance for a field goal later on this year sometime.
Hope so.
Total offense last night, Ballard only rushing the ball for 96 yards. They were 0 for 3 in the passing department, so we knew going in the game they weren't going to throw it much.
Yeah, it's about 3 or 4 times a game. That's about their about their usual, looks like.
So they have total offense of 96 yards. Caldwell with 274, as we mentioned earlier. A game with this high scoring in it, you'd expect one team to have 450, 500 yards, and the other team to have more than 96, but not the case. Again, one of your favorite stats, Wayne. Caldwell with 18 minutes, a little over 18 minutes of time of possession. Ballard almost 30 minutes of time of possession. So, then we have the only turnover last night.
I've seen that,
and that's the one that Tate fumbled, and
that was I think it was the pick. Our turnover was a pick. Yeah.
So we actually really had 2 turnovers.
Yeah, we got our own fumble back.
Yes.
So we lost one of the 2.
And Ballard was 0. So usually we say whoever wins a turnover battle wins the game, but not the case last night.
Exactly.
And we pointed out this stat earlier, punting. Ballard with 5 punts, averaging 13.6 yards a punt, and that covers the first punt, which probably went 30 yards in the air, so Barron could return it. So after that, it was just almost no yardage. So we come out of the game last night. Wayne basically injury-free. And
we're healthy, and that's one big deal there you worry about, in any game. But, when the game kind of gets out of hand, but we have to be smart on our part to get our kids out and then let those younger kids come in and start playing.
And, again, I know that Michael Vickery sat out last night, and Riley Orange sat out last night, so those 2 kids are healing. And
they're both progressing pretty good, coming along, still getting some therapy, and we hope to get those guys back in the lineup as soon as possible.
And now we turn our attention to the big game of the year this coming Friday night here at Tiger Stadium, when we play the big boys from Mayfield. So,
right.
I know Mayfield beat Fort Campbell last night 41-0, but I imagine it was one of the games where they got their starters out and let their second teamers play, third teamers, whatever, on that. So just completing, just about to end this broadcast, going over the award winners last night. The WPKY picks up the play of the game, actually plays of the game. Barron Wells with both of them on his punt return and kickoff return. And as we mentioned earlier, the second time this year he's done that with a punt and kickoff return. The first time being the opening game against Christian County, which was obviously huge in us winning that football game.
It was.
Power line play, we're going to give this award to Angel Long. We were looking at him and blocking, and he was doing a really adequate job on the line, and that. We also saw him make one big block, so he gets the big block award last night. The quick cut award we're going to give to Russ Bashir on his 15-yard run up the middle, leading to a touchdown where he almost got it into the end zone himself, but he had to juke a couple guys, cut back, so he gets that award. And the catch of the game, we're giving that to Tate Van Hoosier on his touchdown pass. He goes to the ground, cradling the ball, and we end up with a touchdown on that catch. So great effort. As we said, it's just tough to be really hyped up all game long for a team like Ballard. I thought we pretty well did what we wanted to do and didn't have too many letdowns.
Right, not too many letdowns. Granted, we'd have to go back and watch the film, and of course we'll pick it to death like we always do as coaches, and definitely find the things that we need to tune up and correct.
I should have introduced earlier, but we have Coach Earl Hammonds here in the studio with us this morning. Good morning, Earl.
Hello, Bob.
Glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
And you were up with us last night, taking care of Coach Stallings and Coach McClung.
Oh my God, man!
Were they eating donuts or something?
Well, we it was too busy. I couldn't get the donut box over to you. But good to have you in the studio this morning, Earl.
That's okay.
Any final thoughts, Wayne?
Just wanted to, there again, thank the fans taking that drive down there. There was at some points in that game it was a little eerie. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was something in the air or what.
I think the lights on the baseball field or softball field were throwing me off.
Well, very well could have been, yeah.
Not a half mile away.
Yeah.
But it was dark on your sideline from where we were. We couldn't see. Hard to pick up numbers going down that far sideline.
But I thought we took a good crowd and traveled well, and so
we were impressed with Ballard's crowd.
Yeah, it had a pretty good crowd. So considering they hadn't played so well this year, and the numbers are really down, I thought they had good support as well.
Well, that's going to wrap up this show, and my thanks to Coach Winnie McGowan, Coach Earl, for being here in the studio this morning. Now we turn our attention to Mayfield and the Tigers' quest to win the district title. My thanks to John Miller, our studio technician, in this morning with me, and for Coach Winnie McGowan and Coach Earl Hammonds and John Miller. This is Bob Hayes. Thanks for tuning us in this morning, and we wish you an enjoyable weekend. So long.
You've been listening to the Saturday Morning Quarterback Show with your host, Bob Hayes, and producer, John Miller. You can watch the Quarterback Show again at WPKYOnline.com. For more news about Caldwell sports and sports from across the area, remember to go to yoursportsedge.com. Here's your